And then another element of these great winners, of the Jerry Rice, of the guys at the West Berlin Academy of Music, it's feedback. It's the third element of deliberate practice. And feedback, and here I have to pay homage to Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell wrote Beautiful Outlier. I see many heads going. Blissful Writer and many other beautiful books. But in Outlier, he's talking about Bill Gates, and he's talking about all these outperformers, okay? And this guy had came along the famous 10,000 hour rule from there. Well, it might be even less. You know, in fact, we have in the mastery, at the level of unconscious incompetence, when we are really, you know, unconscious competence, sorry, UC, we have this 5,000 hour. So when you practice with a very focused, deliberate practice, aim, having volume, being design, having feedback, those 10,000 in my eyes are going down. In fact, I wasn't very happy with Malcolm. I thought, heck, 10,000 are a lot. So feedback, always available. Not just feedback here and there. Once a year, I'll go to my acting coach and I say, what do you think? This is my shot. When did you take it? 3 months ago. No, you need to have feedback after the performance. Right after, you need to be feedbacked. So feedback is always available. That one was making the difference. In the group, fourth part, this kind of work, thank you, yes, this kind of work is mentally demanding. If you follow and you want to become an exceptional achiever, and you want to be the master of this level, and you have this urge to be better at stuff, it's mentally demanding. So, by default, something that is mentally demanding need strategic timing, and focus and concentration. How did I find out that? They found out that, for instance, the guys from the West Berlin Academy of Music, the best, the top range up there, they were using the first hour of the morning or the early afternoon, and they were using strategic timing. Instead of doing a block of 3.5 hours of study a day, they were doing 90 minutes or 60 minutes, having a break, have fun, enjoying life, coming back, take again the violin and play for another 60 minutes. So they were strategically timing their performance in moments when they could have the best result. And the last thing that is not fun, but there is a positive side, is that it is not intrinsically fun. So, deliberate practice takes commitment and may become not intrinsically fun. So, how did they work it out? They created support. So, it calls for support. It calls for pairs, it calls for triads, it calls for
coaches.
It
calls for coaches.
It calls for coaches. It calls for support. It calls for, like Teresa was speaking a few days ago, she has by, I believe, several years now, I don't know if it's 9 or 8 years, the mastermind group, a place where I began my journey, and sometimes I miss those guys, a place where you go and you say, you know, and this is the moment when you want to have somebody around. And this is what happens often in groups like this one, where you say, hey, you know, I'm really working really well with you, and because we are humans and we want to have this kind of support. So, this was my contribution, and we are purpose maximizers. We are maximizers of purpose. We care a lot about mastery, and we are seeking for autonomy as human beings. We are thirsty and hungry for autonomy. And I also, 2 days ago, as I was bringing this all together, I had a lucky chance of getting online, and on Facebook somebody put a beautiful quote. And the quote was saying, if an egg is broken from an outside force, life ends. If an egg is broken from an inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from inside.
Very good.
Thank you.